BBC Radio Lancashire.
So, I mean, tell us about this research. I mean, why are people so fearful then of having the work done in the first place?
Well, we've carried out a survey of consumers to find out their reactions to having tradespeople. And 1 in 4 people are not having work done because they are worried about having a tradesman in their home. And I think part of that reason is because people don't know who to go to get someone in their home. It tends to be done by word of mouth, or they feel they can't trust a tradesperson. So there's a real concern there about actually directing consumers to the right place.
Yeah, I mean, look, technology's moved on. We can flick of a switch, we can turn a phone on, we can get an iPad, we can go online, we can search, I want a plumber, I want a builder. And thousands of names will come up and they'll localise it to your area. But having said that, that's a problem within itself, isn't it? Because then you've got a massive choice and who do you go to?
Well, exactly. It's almost like too much information. And there are search engines for tradespeople, but there have been some negative stories about fake reviews online. So it's still a problem for homeowners about who do I go to. And I think that there's a role there for people to look at trade associations, because at least then you have the opportunity to contact the trade association to find out whether the builder, is competent to do the job, has been inspected, is properly vetted. And I think there's a role there for organisations like the Federation of Master Builders to get that message across that our members are independently vetted.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a massive issue. I'll tell you a personal story. I had a boiler fitted a few years back. All the badges on his van looked the right stuff. He was a member of this, that and the other. When I showed his work on a picture to someone else in the trade, they just laughed.
Right.
So,
yes.
Sometimes you can understand the confusion. People may say they've got this, they've got that, they've got everything else. One, is it legitimate, and how do you find that out? That kind of thing. So there's a few other things you can do, surely.
Well, exactly. I think if you're looking to have work done on your home, the first thing is ask friends or family if they've got the name of a good tradesperson, because they will have a good experience. So it's worth starting off there. If you can't find anyone that way, go to a trade association, because that does offer you the best bet, because our members are independently inspected. So at least you've got the assurance that actually the person is competent to do the job. And I think then when you've done that, don't just rely on one quote. Make sure you get 2 or 3 so that you can compare prices. And when you've done that, make sure you've got a contract. Very few people use a contract. And then when it goes wrong, the builder disappears, or you have an argument and you can't decide who agreed what. So if you've got a contract in place, at least you can refer back to that. And a good builder will offer you a contract.
Okay, I know you can only talk about builders, but take us through that. I like that, Brian. I'm the same. I've never done that, and I wish I had a few times. Yeah. So take us through that. So just say you're the builder coming in to say, I want a new extension.
Yes.
You've measured up and everything else. I like what you're saying. I like your price. You're telling me you can do it in X amount of time. That's perfect for me. What do I do next then? How do I make sure that is going to all end out nice for me as well?
Well, if the builder doesn't mention it, ask the builder for a contract, because then you have a start date, an end date, and as part of that, you need to agree a payment schedule. So you can pay by instalment. If it's a big job, home extension, you're paying £40,000-50,000, you can then pay in sort of £10,000 slots, and that way you're not paying all your money up front, and for the builder, he's not waiting until at the end of the contract, because sometimes you do get rogue clients as well as rogue builders.
And what about then if that builder says, fine, here you go, that everything's in right.
Yeah.
We'll start next Monday, but obviously I need a lot of stuff to put your footings in and everything else. Could you give me £10,000?
Well, I think you need to agree that's part of the contract, that maybe 10% is for the builder to buy materials, and that wouldn't be unreasonable, particularly if it's a small building company. So if you're paying 10% up front for the cost of materials, but then you would agree payment schedules throughout the contract. The other thing, I think, to protect yourself is to have an insurance policy, because if you buy a car, you have a warranty. If you buy any electrical goods, you have a warranty. So why not take out an insurance policy on the building work as well, just to make sure that you're doubly safe?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because I had other consumer people on saying you shouldn't pay anyone up front, because they'll have accounts. If they're reputable builders or anything else, they will have a 30-day account anyway.
Well, actually, there are lots of small building companies who are doing a really good job. They will sometimes ask for a small amount up upfront payment. That's not unusual. If you've got the contract in place, at least then you know that actually things are set out and you've got redress if things go wrong. The thing to do is never to pay cash. That's the key, because if you pay cash, there's no record of the money you've paid over.
And do you know what? We're talking about the bad things here, and it's probably the minority, isn't it?
Yeah,
And there's lots of people,
absolutely.
business people that are fantastic, do a great job, and yet we talk all the time about the bad ones.
Exactly. The vast majority are doing a great job. We've had a very difficult recession. Now, of course, there's a shortage of skilled tradespeople in the building industry. It's a great career for young people. We need to get more young people coming back into the industry. In the Federation of Master Builders, we celebrate quality. We have our own Master Builder of the Year awards, which celebrates a whole range of building work going on right across the UK. So it's a danger sometimes that the few bad apples are sort of hiding all the great work that's going on.
That's fabulous, Brian. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank